Foxtrot Bravo Bravo, pull up and go around.
Go around, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Tower India, Echo Lima, downwind 13, touch and go.
India Echo Lima number 3, follow Cessna left base, turning 1 mile final.
Positive, Mike, also downwind.
India Echo Lima.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind, runway 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, crossover midfield, join the right downwind for 13.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo, pull up and go.
Greetings, everyone. We are sitting here at Vernon Field. I guess I should get the video camera on, shouldn't I? Sitting here at historic Vernon Field, otherwise known, excuse me, in Jamaica as the racetrack airport. And I'll show that to you on the map so we know what we are looking at. So there we are. We're at race course, not racetrack, race course airport. And today's flight is leg number 4 of 4. This is our last flight for the Jamaica tour that we have been doing. We first started out in Kingston, right here, and we worked our way through Kingston, around Kingston. This was leg 1, and we went up to, let's just get a close-up shot of that. We went up to the Blue Mountain Peak, 7,400 feet, which is Jamaica's highest mountain. And we flew around the peak for a little bit and came down to the south coast. And then we worked our way east along the south coast. And we ended up, leg 1 ended at a little airstrip called Bath Airfield. That was leg 1. Leg 2, we took off from Bath. We went out to the east coast, right to the point, and we flew along the coast, northbound, and then westbound. We flew into Port Antonio, famous area in Jamaica. And you can see all this in leg 2 if you go back and look at the pre-recorded videos. And we flew along the coast, made our way out here past Ken Jones Airport, continued along the coastline to Anota Bay, Port Maria, Rockabessa, Goldeneye, which is the estate of Ian Fleming, the author of all the James Bond novels and subsequent movies. We went past Boscobel Airport, and then flew along the coast to the area known as Ocherias. We flew along there, continued along the coastline, past Runaway Bay and Discovery Bay, and all along the flight we had audio tours explaining the different areas. So if you haven't seen my previous flights of the Jamaica tour, you may want to go back and open up some of those videos. Then we ended leg 2 at Sangsters International Airport, Montego Bay, and that's where we camped out for a week. All of leg 1 and leg 2 was flown in the 172 aircraft, and then in Montego Bay we switched to the Cessna 152, and that's what we've been flying on that's what we flew on leg 3, and that's what we'll be flying today on leg 4. So on leg 3 we left Montego Bay. Again, we came along the coast. We went past the Tyrrell Golf Club, which is where Jamaica held the Jamaica Open golf extravaganza. We went past Dolphin Cove, and the audio tour talked about Dolphin Cove, how people can swim with the dolphins. It's quite a lovely area. Continued along right out to the western tip of the coast. So we kind of went southwestern along here, and we passed over Negril. Negril is a famous area for tourists as well. And we made our way to the south, and we turned eastbound, and just outside of Negril we flew over the gardens and butterfly area, and there's an audio tour about that as well. And then we kept going east till we got to the Appleton Rum Estate, and we flew I should say, we didn't fly into the estate, we flew over the estate, and then made our way south. And let's see, we made our way south and ended up right here where we are right now at Racecourse Airport, also known as Vernon Field. So that was legs 1, 2, and 3. And we are now sitting at Vernon Field. The winds today at Vernon Field are 118 at 1 knot, so it's very gentle breeze flowing. Let's get some music as we get started. It might be a little too loud. Yeah, it might be a little too loud. Let's just turn that down a bit here. That isn't drowning out my voice. Let me just fix the audio. So let's continue now what we're talking about. So let's get into the aircraft and get things started. So we'll go through our checklist. Parking brakes are set. Fuel valve is now open. Master battery is on. Turn our panel lights on. Beacon lights on. And the dome lights turned on. let's give it a quick prime. It's been sitting for a week, this aircraft. Carb heat is off. And we'll prime maybe 3 strokes. 1, 2, 3. That should do it. I will bring the throttle back to curb an inch. The mixture back, fully lean, and as we turn on the magnetos, we'll advance the mixture. We have a good start. Started. Oil pressure, temperature is good. Pressure is coming up. RPMs should be at 1,000. And alternator is now on. So we can see that. We'll turn the avionics on. Turn our DME on, not that we really need it, but we'll turn on our transponder. We'll set that to all altitude reporting at 1200, which is our VFR code. Okay, turn the ADF radio on. Again, probably won't use it, but it's got to have these things on just in case. Alright, that's been done. Turn our nav lights on and our taxi lights on. We'll do a run-up check right here at the ramp. Just close our doors, make sure there is no air traffic control on today. Nevertheless, we do need to file a flight plan in case we get lost or something happens to us. So let's get a flight plan filed. So let's connect to the network. Yep, that's us. Connect. File a flight plan. So we're going from MKRA. And we're going to end up at Kingston's International Airport, which is Norman Manley Airport, which is MKJP. And let's see, it's 17:15 now. We should be taking off at about 17:30. It's about a 1-hour flight. We have 4 hours of fuel on board, 100 knots, and our altitude for flight today is going to be at, let's see, what are we flying at today? Let's just have a look and see what we decided on. We're going to fly at 3,500. At 3,500, so it's a VFR flight. It's eastbound. It's just eastbound, that's all we have to put in there. And that should be good. And we'll file a flight plan. Flight plan has been filed. Okay. That looks good. Well, without any further ado, let's make sure all the map equipment is on board. That's good. Just bear with me for one moment as we check everything out before we take off. Once we're in the air, there's no fixing of things once we get flying. Okay, so that's good. And make sure that that is all set there. Okay, so that's all set. All right, let's tune in. Let's put in our CTAF frequency. Actually, I already did it, 1228, so that's good. Set our field elevation. Field elevation here is, let me just check the chart, it's 108 feet. And we're showing pretty much 108. We're at about 105 right there. That's good. For some reason I am not hearing aircraft properly. Okay, that's better. That is now better for me. Okay, we are really ready to go. Let's taxi out to start of runway 19. So let's see, we'll make a left-hand turn. Make our way out to 19. Make a call just in case there's any aircraft coming in. Racecourse traffic, Cessna Delta Echo Whiskey, taxiing to threshold of runway 19 for an eastbound departure. Racecourse traffic. Actually, I'm going to pull over here and do the run-up. We'll do the run-up right here. do the run up before we get out to the airport, or to the threshold of the runway. So we'll do this fairly quickly. Need 1700 RPM. Okay, we're going to check the mags. Right mag, got about 100 RPM drop. Left mag, 100 RPM drop. Carb heat on. We've got about a 75 RPM drop. I'm going to cycle the flaps. They all work. And we will throttle to idle. It shouldn't go below 700 RPM with the carb heat on. And we are at 700 RPM. Okay, our trim is set. Put in 1 notch of flaps for departure. We do not need pitot heat. Transponder is on, taxi lights are on. I'm going to leave the taxi lights on, and I'm going to turn on the landing lights, so turn the strobe lights on, and the carb heat can come off. Release the parking brakes, and make our way out to runway 19. Oh, we're just coming down here. Make a right turn. Race course traffic. Cessna Delta Echo Whiskey making backtracking on runway 19. Race course traffic. So we'll backtrack on runway 19. Set our heading bug to 190 degrees. Right down here. Got about 70 FPS today. Winds are still 118 at 1 knot. Insignificant winds, really. Nevertheless, it'll be a extremely slight left crosswind. This runway is 4,954 feet long, so there's lots of runway. When we take off, we will exit on a less left crosswind and proceed eastbound. Okay, let's line up with runway. There is no center line on this runway. Just a paved strip. Okay, we want to make sure everything is all set. Just set our parking brakes for a minute. Yeah, everything looks good there. It looks good there. will be heading due east when we exit the left crosswind. Okay. Fasten your seatbelts and off we go. Airspeed is alive now. 40 knots. We'll rotate at 55. We're at 50. 55, 60 knots actually. That's more than enough. So we're airborne. Tap the brakes, stop them from spinning. Race course traffic, Cessna Delta Echo Whiskey is clear of runway 19. Turning to a left crosswind with a left crosswind departure to the east. Race course traffic. Okay, we'll turn left now.
Vernon Field is a former World War II.
So, we are now going to let's show you on the map where we are. We're just intercepting our track, head eastbound. There's the Caribbean Sea out there. We're going to be heading to an airport known as Port Esquivel Airstrip. And from there, let me get back to the map here for a minute just so I can show you what we're doing today. I should have explained that before we took off. Get back to the map. So we're flying to Port Esquivel Airstrip. Then we're going to head north. And we're going to fly up. Now, yeah, we could easily just fly straight across here to Kingston, but that's not the point of this whole tour. We're doing a tour so that we can point out some areas of Jamaica. So when we go over Port Esquivel, we'll head north, go up here to Worthy Park Airstrip. And then from Worthy Park Airstrip, we're going to make an extended northwesterly, almost northerly almost, flight. And the only reason why we're going up here is that we're going up to 9 Mile, which is the home of Bob Marley. That's where Bob was born, and that's where he is buried along with his family members. And there's a audio about that as well. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for all of that. And then we're going to come down easterly, Uriton airstrip, make our way back to the south, coming down over Spanish Town, and there's a little audio tour about that as well. And we'll come down here to Hellshire Beach. Again, there's also an audio tour for that. And then we'll make our way over to Kingston International Airport. So that is our plan. And we're going to stick to it. Hopefully. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. We're over, not that it really matters, we're over 3,500 feet. We're at 3,700. We'll just come back down to 3,500. There's the beautiful Caribbean Sea to my right. I think we could pick up a little bit of speed and make our way up to about 100 knots. That island out there is known as Little Goat Island. Not sure how it got that name. Actually, sorry, that one is let me just make sure. That one is Big Goat Island. And Little Goat Island is right in here. Excuse me. So we should be approaching Port Esquivel airstrip. See if we can spot it. There it is right there. There's the airstrip right there. We're going to head north from that airstrip. We're going to take a heading of actually due north, 360 degrees. So we're at 3,200 feet. Let's increase the RPMs a little bit. Oh, there's someone else up in the sky here. Oh, they're up at 10,000 feet, so I'm not worried about that. Let's check our instruments out. Pressure is good, temperature is good, carb heat is off. And I'm just going to leave the landing lights on. I like to do that actually. I like to be seen. See and be seen. I don't want any aircraft slamming into me. Now we'll make our way back up to 3,500. 3,500. All systems are looking good. There's actually a castle, Bulbeck Castle. I don't think that's in the tour book, but let me see if I can see if it's in here at all. Bulbeck Castle. Just looking through the tour book right now. No, it's not in the tour book. And the other thing that we're looking out at here now is we're just coming up to Sandy Bay. It's called Sandy Bay. Caribbean Sea behind us. We'll be okay at 3,500 feet clearing these hills. Yeah, there's no problem there. The highest point along our flight is further along, but it'll be fine. It's at 3,000 feet, so perfectly fine where we are. Okie dokie. Just gonna play a little bit more of that music. I really enjoyed it. Jamaica, here we come. Bob Marley, here we come. Hope that isn't too loud. Just off to our left is Rock, a little area called Rock River. There's a river that runs from the north. Can't really see it right now because of the trees. It's nestled down in here. It's amongst the rocks. Waypoint is Worthy Park Airstrip. I'll show that to you on the map. to be able to see it. Right there. And we are coming in here. So it's kind of in this little valley, which looks as if it's right up ahead of us. Yeah, it looks like it's right up here somewhere. Although that ridge, you need to cross over that ridge first, I think. Yeah, we'll see. Let's keep an eye out for it. To a little town, or not a town, but a village called Ludus Vale. That's it down here. And actually the airstrip, it's a grass field. And it should be, I may not see it, it should be at our 12 o'clock it runs. Let's just get the binoculars and have a look out. Pretty hard to spot. Let's just turn to the right a bit. Oh, I'd say this is it right here. I'd say that's the airstrip right there. I'd say that's the airstrip right there. Kind of looks like it might be. Okay, we're going to get back on track and heading up 350 degrees. It's right about there. We're heading up to Bob Marley country. So, with that being said, let's play some more reggae music. Coming down to 3,000 feet. Hopefully to get a better look at Bob Marley's area. Got about 10 miles to go to reach Bob Marley's compound. Jamaica is sure lush. A little house down there. Marley's area is called 9 Mile. That's the name of the village. Turn back to 350 degrees. Get too low here. I'd say we have about 5 nautical miles to go to reach Bob Marley's village of 9 Mile. Stay in a heading of 350 degrees. Sorry, let's change that now to 330. That's what we should be on, 330 now, in order to fly right over Bob Marley's area. We stay in this direction right here. Should be good. Everything's looking okay. Pressure, temperature, fuel, alternator, charging. I'd say we're good. How far we have to go. About 3 nautical miles, we should be coming to 9 Mile, which is the home and resting place for Bob Marley and his family. We're now, of course, long past. 3,200 feet. Might be difficult to spot. Because it's all amongst these lush trees. It's gonna move out a little bit. Keep an eye on our altitude and our heading as we look out with the binoculars. Okay. We only have about a mile to go. Should be down, it might be down there. I see some houses out here. It's probably it right there.
Nine Mile is a district in St.
There's the audio tour.
Jamaica, a few miles south of Brownstown. On February 6th of 1945, the reggae musician and peace activist Bob Marley was born there. He was later buried there. The Bob Marley Mausoleum
That's the
is a
area right
tourist
there.
attraction located in 9 Mile, managed by members of Marley's family. It has many historical
circle
artifacts,
around it.
including guitars, awards, and photographs. 9 Mile is where Bob Marley's musical career began and also influenced many of his songs. There is a rasta-colored rock pillow on which Marley laid his head when seeking inspiration. His body lies buried along with his guitar in a 2.5 meters tall oblong marble mausoleum inside a small church of traditional Ethiopian design. There are 2 mausoleums on the property. The first is that of Marley's mother, Cedella Booker, known as Mama Marley. The second contains the remains of Marley himself.
So, That's the tour. I don't know if all of you heard that, but I'll just play it one more time.
9 Mile is a district in St. Anne Parish, Jamaica, a few miles south of Brownstown. On February 6th of 1945, the reggae musician and peace activist
That's
Bob
his estate
Marley was
down
born
there.
He was later buried there. The Bob Marley Mausoleum is a tourist attraction located in 9 Mile, managed by members of Marley's family. It has many historical artifacts including guitars, awards and photographs. 9 Mile is where Bob Marley's musical career began and also influenced many of his songs. There is a rasta-colored rock pillow on which Marley laid his head when seeking inspiration. His body lies buried along with his guitar in a 2.5 meters tall oblong marble mausoleum inside a small church of traditional Ethiopian design. There are 2 mausoleums on the property. The first is that of Marley's mother, Sadela Booker, known as Mama Marley. The second contains the remains of Marley himself.
Nine Mile, that's his village right there. Alright, we're gonna head now southeasterly, heading of about 130 degrees. And we're gonna be coming down to the Euroton airstrip. Let me have a look at the map, see where we are. Okay. Looking good. So the high point. Here, I'll show you the map for a moment. So that was Bob Marley's area, 9 Mile, right there. Now we're heading 130 degree heading down to Euroton. Right here, there's a high peak. Let's see what it is. We're almost at 4,000 feet, and that peak is 3,000 feet, so we actually could come back down to 3,500, but we'll just stay at 4,000 for now. And we're almost, we're halfway through the tour. We're ending up here in Kingston. Back in my hometown of Kingston, Jamaica. Okay, let's get back to the aircraft. We'll stay at 4,000 until we cross this ridge right here. Then we'll drop down to 3,500. In fact, we might even drop down to... Then I will drop down to 3,500. Not much to talk about right here. We're just flying over some more of Jamaica's lush greenery. As I said once before, Jamaica is known as the land of wood and water. Look at that beautiful land down there. Quite see, well, you can see the Caribbean Sea. It's way off in the background. Actually, from this vantage point, let's just move in with the binoculars. So at this vantage point, Caribbean Sea is off to our right on the south coast of the island. And if we look to the left, to the north coast, we can also see Caribbean Sea out here. There it is all along the north coast. Once we get over this ridge, we'll drop down to 3,500 feet. Uriton airstrip is right on the other side of this ridge. We're just crossing the parish line. In Jamaica, the island is split up into parishes. As in Canada, we have provinces, and in the US, they have states. So the parish of, we're flying in the parish of St. Anne right now, and we'll be, the minute we cross over this ridge, we'll be in the parish of St. Catherine. And Kingston, pretty hard to see, but it's right down there. Yeah, I'll take a sip of water. See what the temperature is outside. Oh yeah, even at 4,000 feet, it's what does it look like there? It's like about, we got 20 degrees, 10, it's about 12, 13 to 15 degrees at 4,000 feet. Winds are 114 at 2 knots. Okay, we're coming up to the airstrip of Uriton. And there's an audio tour for that as well, so we will listen for that. I'm not so sure we can spot the
Uriton
airstrip.
airstrip is an airstrip serving the town of Uriton and the Windalco bauxite mine in the St. Catherine parish of Jamaica. There is distant rising terrain to the northwest. The Manly Vor/GME is located 22.1 nautical miles southeast of the runway. Bauxite is a sedimentary rock with a relatively high aluminium content. It is the world's main source of aluminium and gallium.
This is the bauxite
consists
mining.
mostly of the aluminium minerals gibbsite, bromite and diaspore, mixed with the two iron oxides goethite and hematite, the aluminium clay mineral kaolinite and small amounts of anatase and ilmenite. Bauxite appears dull in luster and is reddish-brown.
There's the airstrip
or
right there.
tan in color.
So bauxite, as it said in the audio tour, is the mineral that's used for creating aluminum. Jamaica is a big producer of bauxite. We'll just play that one more time.
Uriton Airstrip is an airstrip serving the town of Uriton and the Windalco bauxite mine in the St. Catherine parish of Jamaica. There is distant rising terrain to the northwest. The Manly Vor/GME is located 22.1 nautical miles southeast of the runway. Bauxite is a sedimentary rock with a relatively high aluminium content. It is the world's main source of aluminium and gallium. Bauxite consists mostly of the aluminium minerals gibbsite, boehmite and diasporite, mixed with the two iron oxides goethite and hematite, the aluminium clay mineral kaolinite and small amounts of anatase and ilmenite. Bauxite appears dull in luster and is reddish-brown, white, or tan in color.
Okay, so now we know all about bauxite and aluminum. Or aluminium, whichever you prefer, however you prefer to pronounce it. So the next thing, we're coming down to 3,500 feet, by the way. The next area we're coming to, I will show you on the map. Just get back on track again. Okay, so the next area that we're coming to is, we're going to be flying over this little airstrip, also a grass strip, called Hullock Airstrip, and it's right in the Bog Walk area. There's a highway that comes here, Highway 200. It becomes the A1 highway, which is the main highway of Jamaica, one of the main highways. And A1 intersects Highway B2, and the airstrip is just to the east of B2 and A1. And then from there, we're very close to Kingston. So let's get back to the flight. We're at 3,000 feet now, which is fine. But let's start looking for this airstrip. The grass strip. I don't know if we'll find it though. It's runway runs east and west. Yeah, I'm gonna go out a little further with the binoculars. I am not seeing a grass strip. Ah, that appears to be it right down there, because we are on the map right over it. I'd say that's that grass strip right there. There's the river. We're at 2,500 feet right now. I think we should stay at 3,000. Let's get back up to 3,000 feet. The next important area that we're coming to is Spanish Town. And there's an audio tour of Spanish Town, so we'll let the tour guide tell us all about that when we get closer. It's maybe 5 nautical miles ahead of us. And another famous area on the A1 highway is called Flat Bridge. I've used that highway many times, flying back and forth from the north coast to the south coast. So Flat Bridge is on Highway A1. Not sure if we can spot A1. Can we spot the highway? That might be the highway right there. Yeah, I'd say that is the highway. It's all through the rocks and the mountains. Boy, it's a good thing I brought the binoculars with me. And Flat Bridge is coming up right here. See this river? This river that comes in here? It crosses the highway. There's a bridge there. Not really a bridge, it's just a flat passing on the highway. And the A1 highway continues south. Let's get back on track. This Spanish town is about 5 miles from us. At one point, Spanish Town was capital of Jamaica. So Kingston became populated, they took over. We can actually see the Kingston International Airport just off here. Norman Manley Airport. Used to be called Palisados Airport. So this is Spanish Town right ahead of us. Again, we'll use the binoculars. It's a sprawling city of Spanish Town. And we'll hear the tour guide in a few moments tell us all about Spanish Town. That's the A1 highway. Going into Kingston. There's Kingston right there. We got about 1 nautical mile to go. Spanish Town. I'm off course. I gotta quickly get back on course.
Spanish Town is the capital and the largest town in the parish of St. Catherine in the historic county of Middlesex, Jamaica. It was the Spanish and British capital of Jamaica from 1534 until 1872. The town is home to numerous memorials, the National Archives, and one of the oldest Anglican churches outside England.
That's
Built
Spanish
on the west
Town.
bank of the Rio Cobre, the town lies 13 miles from Kingston on the main road. Its history was shaped by 2 significant colonial periods: Spanish rule from
Rio
1534
Cobre, we
to
can go
1655,
alligator
and the
hunting.
English from 1655 to 1872. After that, the capital was relocated to Kingston. The Anglican Church took over the 16th century cathedral. The historic architecture and street names mark the colonial history, such as Red Church and White Church streets, symbolic of the Spanish chapels of the Red and White Cross, as well as Monk Street, in reference to the monastery that once stood nearby. Nugent and Manchester streets were named for the British colonial governors, George Nugent and William Montagu, 5th Duke of Manchester. King Street runs past the King's House, the Governor's Residence, and Constitution Street, near to the square, refers to the island's former administrative centre. Regency buildings in the town centre include the Rodney Memorial, flanked by 2 guns from the French ship Field of
That's
Paris,
the new,
and the facade
well,
of
it's
the
not
old
new
King's
anymore, with
House,
the
which was
T1
the residence of the governor until
expressway.
1872.
Okay, so that tour was interesting. Now we're going to be coming up to Hellshire Beach, which is a very popular beach on the south coast for locals. Not so much tourists, but more locals, although some tourists do go there. Let's get our altitude down though, we're too high. And that's coming up in, maybe 3 miles, 2 miles or so. Oh no, maybe it's more like about 4 miles. So that's going to be ahead of us. And we'll get an audio tour on that as well. And I don't know if we can see the beach from this vantage point. Let me get the binoculars out again. Oh yeah, we can see the beach. So there's the beach right in there. This whole area is the beach. And from that beach you can look out and see Port Royal. Lime Key is right here. And the airport is right there. And this is Port Royal that we already visited on our first tour. And that's the sprawling city of Kingston. So we're just going to go to the right a bit so we can get a better view of Hellshire Beach. Yep, there's Hellshire Beach. Beautiful, really nice. Now the sand is not white like the north coast. South coast sand is a more grainy, darker sand. But nonetheless, it's still beautiful. So let's see the audio, listen to the audio tour.
Hellshire Beach, Jamaica, is located near Portmore and famed for its fried fish and safe swimming. It has near white sands with a very small trace of black sand. Exposed when there is a sea running to the south,
Excuse me.
the waters close to shore are often quite cloudy due to the stirred up sand. It is a popular public beach conveniently located for the residents of Portmore and weekend visitors from Kingston. Once called Hellshire due to its reputation as a health retreat, its name has since evolved into Hellshire, though both pronunciations are technically correct. In the early 19th century, colonial records describe hundreds of runaway slaves escaping to Hellshire, where they flourished for several years before they were captured by a party of Jamaican Maroons.
Okay, so that really ends our audio tours of Jamaica. And now we're on the final leg to coming into Kingston. I'll show that to you on the map, and that'll wrap up our tour. So there we are, we're heading of about 36 degrees. And we're going to come in on runway 12. So I'm going to call ahead now to the traffic. Let them know what our intentions are, because there is no air traffic control. Let's get back into the plane so I can fly this thing properly. Traffic, Cessna Delta Echo Whiskey. about 4 miles west of Manly Airport at 2,000 feet, landing runway 12. Manly traffic. Okay, there's Port Royal. There is Lime Key, right there. Cruise ship there. There's a cruise ship there. We're at 2,000 feet. Let's get ourselves ready now for our arrival. So we're like on a right base right now. There's the airport there. Manly traffic, Cessna Delta Echo Whiskey on a 4-mile final. Runway 12, Manly traffic. Cruise ship visiting Port Royal. Get a view of Kingston as we fly on the final approach to Palisadoes Airport, or Norman Manley Airport as it's called. Okay, let's concentrate on the flight in. So again, that's the Palisadoes Road. It's also now known as the Norman Manley Road. This is a very long runway. Really don't need flaps, but I will put down some flaps to just come in on a slow approach. Come in high. The elevation of the airport is 13 feet. I was just looking at the map and not paying attention. So we're at 600 feet. Put in another notch of flaps. There's that cruise ship out by Lime Key. There's Lime Key right there. Kingston again, my hometown. We've got a nice approach. Winds are 121 at 2 knots. 122 at 2 knots. We've got a pretty much good headwind straight on. I'm going to put in the final notch of flaps just to get our speed down, keep control of it. We're at 100 feet, about 80 feet above the ground. I'm going to make a long landing. I just keep it above the airport, above the runway for a little bit. Touch down further to the east rather than doing a long taxi in. We'll just keep it here at about 50 knots, right on the center line. About 30 feet, about 20 feet above the ground, actually. We'll touch down at the next 40 knots. Touch down here, exit at the next exit. There we are. Take the next exit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Kingston. Let's open up the windows because it's a little warm in the airplane. Take this exit right here. Manly traffic, Cessna Delta Echo Whiskey is clear of runway 12, taxiing to general aviation parking. Actually, we'll taxi to the airliner parking today. We have some passengers to let off. Manly traffic. Let's just clean up the aircraft. Landing lights. Taxi lights on, landing lights off. Robes off. Video heat off. Carb heat off. Home lights off. Okay, so we could... Oh, I should retract the flaps. Get them up and stowed. We could actually... could actually park right over here with the airliners, or we can park over with the general aviation traffic. I guess we really should get away from the airliners. Slide over to the GA parking. Main terminal is right there. And Jamaica is a very busy airport. Yeah, I think we'll park right over here. Let's park right here, right by the baggage containers. Baggage carts. There we are. Okay, let's shut down. So, parking brake is set. Avionics need to be turned off. Mixture is full lean and idle cutoff. Magnetos off. Alternator off. Should turn off the rest of the equipment, the DME, the ADF radio, and we'll turn off the transponder. Beacon light is off. Taxi light is off. Nav light is off. Fuel valve closed. Panel lights off. And the main master battery is off. So that was a 55 minute flight, which I had estimated 1 hour on the flight plan, so that's about right. And let's open up the doors and get out of this airplane. Here we are. Hot blazing sun of Jamaica. I'll just start up my drone and just show you what it looks like from up above. There's Kingston off here. North. There's the air terminal. Well, I guess we could have parked here with this other GA aircraft. Oh well, that's okay. There's a runway we came in on. Came in here. Port Royal right out here at the end. And that's okay. So thank you all very much for your participation and your viewing. It's been a wonderful tour of Jamaica, and look forward to the next trip. I'm not sure what we're going to do next, but we will do something, another tour of somewhere. Until then, keep happy and keep flying. Dane, SimAir, we're out.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo, pull up and go around.
Go around, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Tower India Echo Lima, downwind 13, touch and go.
India Echo Lima number 3, follow Cessna left base, turning 1 mile final. Positive, my Golf downwind.
India Echo Lima.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind runway 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, crossover midfield, join the right downwind for 13.